Hey, folks! With me today, I have Mo in the Deep End. I have Squid Pro Quo, and for quite some time, I believe for over a year, Doug Weinstein. You still owe me a beer on the bar. A beer. I think you're muted.
I'm so.
Oh,
phone
and you're
rang.
muted. Oh, no worries.
Yeah, well, no, my phone. I need to put it on do not disturb. But anyway,
Looking great. You lost another bit of weight since last time I saw you.
yeah, it's been a while. It's been way too long, and I apologize for that.
No worries, no worries. I mean, you're kind of busy defending people and doing criminal law, so you're kind of excused. And then again, I'm doing this on a Friday afternoon. Usually, people have families and stuff.
Well, Nick, I know it's not Canton related, but in honor of the state of Massachusetts, a subtle bow, and Commonwealth, this is the opening salvo, and I am pissed off. The fact that you thought that this was honor and not putting on a competent case, I have thoughts. So I have a trip to Hobby Lobby and a glue gun in my future. And like I said, this is the opening salvo. Commonwealth. I hope you're proud of yourself.
Yeah.
No, it's the only thing she's done in the case that makes any sense, actually.
That
seems to have any thought behind it.
Yeah, I mean, but I heard a theory surrounding those bows is in a certain religious community, bows have some type of meaning. Especially in Mormonism or Latter Saints, whatever's. But I don't know enough about it. I wish Jeff was still around so he could explain it. And Danny wasn't working in Washington nowadays, because those are the two only prior Mormons I know. And one of them, the asshole, decided to pass away. So
just to avoid the bow question, I might add.
Yeah, definitely. No, this is a Canton special. Doug, I don't know if you have kept yourself up to date on what's going on in Canton, Massachusetts.
Well, I said the other day on X that it seems that Canton, Massachusetts is the Florida man of court systems.
Yeah.
And I'm going to
stick to that. Accurate statement of the day.
Yeah.
Perks of having a 4-year-old girl.
Yeah, woo-hoo! Completely agree with that. Now, the Canton 4 is the current 4 civil lawsuits that is going on with the exact same people in it. It is the O'Keefe family wrongful death suit against Karen Reed. It is the Reed's federal civil rights lawsuit against police investigators and other people. There's also the federal civil rights lawsuit. There's also a state lawsuit against the state police, Massachusetts State Police, and the town of Canton, which is in state court. And you have the House Witnesses defamation suit against Karen Reed and Aidan Carney. And it's the same people in all 4 cases. Okay, interesting. And now I have pulled up the latest hearing because Aidan Carney, according to Attorney Diller, skipped more or less unannounced the deposition. And the same day, Aidan Carney goes on social media and says, no, I let him know I could not attend. Now, he did that personally, not through his attorney. Don't know if that matters. It shouldn't. Well, either way, in my personal opinion, I believe that Aiden is testing the waters, because on the other side of this case, you have people skipping, postponing, and then you have the interesting case with, what's his name? Colin Albert, the youngster who allegedly was in the house, but everybody to protect him. And his attorneys, well, first they postponed the deposition, and then they had the deposition, but only with a six-day notice. And coincidentally, shows the day they knew Karen Reed's attorneys could not attend, because they had prior to this announced to the court, we cannot really on these dates. And of course, that's the exact date when Colin decided to hold his deposition. And then some time passed, and Colin Albert, his attorney, was at court. No, he's unavailable. Okay, why is he unavailable? Back and forth, back and forth. Well, he joined the army.
Is that the 21st century version of you either go to jail or you join the army?
Well, Colin is just a witness in that particular case.
I mean,
So
I know I went to boot camp and shit, but I went on my own volition. Like, I wasn't trying to run from anything, but like being an adult.
Yeah.
I feel
But wait,
less safe if he's our 85th line of defense. Yeah.
I really hope he's not doing anything where people's lives. I really hope he's a cook.
I'm not really understanding the difficulty in getting these depositions scheduled and people attending them.
I gotta go do mama duties. Be right back.
Now, the parties are the O'Keefes.
Yeah.
Then all the House defendants except Higgins have the same lawyers, plural.
Yeah.
Then you have the two bars who have their own lawyers teams. And then, of course, you have Karen Reed and Aidan Carney with their own set of attorneys. There's a collective of 27 attorneys.
But, normally the attorneys on depositions get together and talk to each other and agree, this is the date we're going to do the depositions. And then you serve a notice of deposition. And then barring some kind of emergency, the deposition happens on that date. And because you're deposing each other's people, you tend to co-opt. This is discovery, as you know, is supposed to be self-executing. The court should not have to be getting involved. People should be showing up. And I don't have a dog in this Karen Reed fight. Honestly, I a plague on all of them. It's just such a mess. I get enough hate mail whenever I just even mention Karen Reed. But I don't. I don't understand what I'm basically saying is I don't understand why it's so difficult to get some depositions done. Right?
Yeah, I mean, it should be. I mean, folks, take away it's the Karen Reed case. This is a wrongful death suit. Yeah. Usually, there's that family, that person, each have one lawyer. But now you have the House defendants and the allegations and the different things get complicated judicially, but not discoverable. I mean, not discovery. I mean, as you said, it's a deposition. Here you have 7 dates. Pick one, more or less. But but Colin Albert, well, eventually his attorney said, well, he joined the army, and then some time passed, and it turns out, well, he kind of joined the army, but he didn't pass the test, so he had to go to pre-army school.
How do you not pass the ASVAB? I don't understand.
I mean, that is literally for a fifth grade, like barely fifth grade literacy level.
It's a glorified, hey, what are you good at? So we know what jobs to give you because we know what you'll excel at. I mean, 40s are the only people who get 40s on the ASVAB and still have a job. People.
Yeah, but now eventually he passed the pre-army school, so now he is in the army. But the attorney, up until he actually joined the army, didn't acknowledge it was pre-army school. So there's some,
A
Colin
23
really
basically means you couldn't write your own name on the test.
Pre-army school, I'm just still like I failed basic. I am the shame of my family. I come from a long line of service members, and even I passed the ASVAB. So I finally look. You know what? This is a great day. I'm putting this down on my calendar. I'm calling my mom because I'm officially not the biggest screw up ever.
I got an 89. It just proves that you can be book smart or like smart, the ASVAB, and not actually be good at anything.
No, this I
Exhibit
mean, they're basically, there's a physical test, and there's are you not dumb enough, or are you too smart? Because the army kind of wants the in-between people, not the too stupid and not the too smart. Because the too stupid don't know how to follow orders, and the too smart questions every order.
No, the too smart go to the Air Force. The too stupid eat crayons.
I
I
know some smart people in the Army. I'm not in the Army. I've never been in the service, but I know some smart people in the Army.
I'm Army.
And
It's
as far
more
as
of a
Air
joke.
Force goes, the only thing I have to say about that is when I would hire electronic technicians, electronic repairmen at U.S. Steel, the number one people I wanted was the Navy. And as a matter of fact, give me submarine people. If I could hire a submariner, that's who I wanted. Navy was number one, but number 4 by far was Air Force. The Air Force electronic repairmen I hired were worthless.
Well, I found out something about that. So I was an aviation electronics tech. So I worked on communication systems, but on the plane. We worked on everything. Radar, radios, harness, you did everything. The Air Force, you have one specific job. If you fix radios is all you do. And it's like, no, Navy, it's like, here's your plane, here's your 8 different systems, and have fun.
Yeah.
Air Force is like, you work on radios, you only work on this kind of radio.
Yeah.
You have a problem with any other radio, and it's somebody else's problem.
Well, my theory, to continue down this total detour quickly, my theory was the Navy guys were so good because they're out on a ship in the middle of nowhere and they had no choice but to repair it, whereas the Air Force could call in the factory man at any time, and the factory man could come repair it. But I don't know. That's just a theory I had at age 30 or whatever it was. But I'm so distracted with the bow in the hair. I'm sorry. I can't. No. You can keep it on.
I do have subtler ones because Amazon's a liar.
I'm not gonna lie. I have multiples. I have this one and I have this one. This was a ribbon that was on a birthday gift, and it became a ribbon on a bow.
Yeah.
When something becomes a distraction, one would think a professional would change.
I have my chicken hats, but that's only good for Easter.
But you know why she's wearing the bow, right?
I mean, bows are in style, but for some reason, Massachusetts makes it, or at least these particular prosecutors make these bows look very Mormon.
She's wearing the bow because of the kid.
Oh.
It was in her opening.
Oh.
And it's going to come back in her closing. That's why she's wearing the bow.
Oh, but let's see. I remember from another case, but that was in Florida, where the kid had, I believe, let's say it was a Mickey Mouse T-shirt, and the prosecutor walked around with a tie clip with Mickey Mouse on it. But he had to remove that because it was not proper.
Yeah, this is for Cora. This is someone in your comments said. This is to remind the jury of the little girl.
Okay, but here's my point on that. As a professional, wouldn't you be better served to honor the victim if you spent time making possibly the least shambolic case since Daryl Brooks was his own attorney? Wouldn't that be more honoring to the victim? And I get the point behind it, but it's so hollow and so crass when they spent not at all, coming up with this trial. And I don't know what justice looks like in this case. I'm not smart like that. But that really is beyond the pale to me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's the only thing that she seems to have put thought into. and to be executing, as far as I can tell. She's doing a horrible job.
I think she put thought into other things too. I just think she's out of touch.
Mm.
And her putting thought into things is like Jeffrey Dahmer asking you over for dinner for a steak. Are you sure you want to?
There's just this
and she's clearly out-lawyered. She's so out-lawyered.
Yeah.
Justice can always be tinged with mercy, and even if you can't have compassion for the defendant, you can have compassion for the case. And therein is the rub. She is presenting this as though none of these things were ever offered to be stipulated as, and she's using them as a cudgel, and it's both of them, and it's very evident. So yes, I get where she intended to go with the bow. I get the symbolism behind it, but I find it very offensive that she put more thought into the symbolism of a bow than the case.
Yeah. And of course, she's acting as a standard prosecutor by refusing to stipulate things that she wants to take time and parade before the jury and use the emotional impact of them. Because I don't know, I just frequently find prosecutors won't stipulate to things if it's to their advantage to drag it out.
I don't think it is in this case, though. I think if you burn out the jury emotionally day 1, week 2 of a trial, and it's going to be a 6-week long trial, not only have you presented cases or facts in an obviously obfuscative sort of way. So the jury not only trusts you within a week and 1 day, but now you have burnt out their emotions. So everything you want to have impact from now on is not going to, because they will emotionally protect themselves.
Right. It's like the old criminal defense maximum that if you have a really bad photograph or a horrendous video that really would shock people to see, the natural instinct is to play it once and never get it seen again. When in reality, it needs to be played over and over and over again to deaden the emotions of the jury, so it doesn't have that. You take the impact away by overplaying it. And this prosecutor doesn't understand that either.
But we're supposed to be talking about Canton. Sorry about bowing
into
Lindsay.
We always get derailed here. I mean,
we're in the same state.
Canton. We will get back to Canton eventually.
I know it is more on track
than we won't go away for the next 5 years. There are 4 civil suits, 3 state and 1 federal. This won't go away for a long time, because regardless of who wins, it will get appealed.
I just get really upset at these prosecutors with the medical side of things. Being a healthcare worker and having a chronic condition, I'm offended on a 2-part basis. Like, I'm offended by the amount of meds. Like, the freaking VA just sent me a box today of 90 lidocaine patches. Do I need 90? No. But, everything in bulk. But from a healthcare perspective, knowing how you treat certain things from a hospital and being inpatient and having worked in inpatient mental health for a short stint, emphasis on short, but I've done it, and having a chronic neuro condition where I've needed both physical and mental health care to deal with, I'm offended. And if I was on that jury, and if anybody on that jury has a chronic health condition, and you are treating them, but you are treating her like, yes, we know she did something wrong. We are aware. But like, you can, like Mo has said multiple times, and I'm going to misquote you because that's what I do.
It's
but
fine.
You can
she probably said it anyway.
Acknowledge that a crime was committed, but have some sensitivity around the fact that this woman was sick.
Yeah.
Or even if you don't believe it, fake it. Again, there's a strategy behind this that bothers me on a kind of chess player professional level. This is the most shambolic presentation of a hard case. And we've gone through, it's not like there aren't examples. I think that the prosecutors in Daryl Brooks' case did a wonderful job of removing a lot of the emotional impact by their strategic, picking of witnesses that could speak for a collective group. So they went out of their way to make it easy for the the jury to digest with their demonstratives, with their timeline, with how they broke it out or broke it down.
Yeah.
And I've always been very appreciative of the attorneys who have that strategic mind as well, because it is sort of a chess game as well. It's not just the facts you have, it's how are people going to intake this? We are taking people who are essentially complete novices. It's like playing Dungeons and Dragons with a whole new set of newbies. You know, they don't know the rules, they don't know how to play the dice, but you are having them judge this intricate D&D game. And you have to think about how your presentation is going to be picked up by them, because while you have to follow all of these very intricate D&D rules, you're being judged by people that don't know any of these rules exist. And they are looking at it at a totally different level. And I think as an outsider, as a twice college dropout, if I could make any suggestion based on just my general observations of lawyers in the last 4 years, is that there needs to be more input. Again, law is what you guys do, but you're also playing for an audience that doesn't understand the rules. So translating the law into humanity is a disconnect I've seen from a lot of attorneys. And it's just you guys spend a lot of time learning all these crazy rules. Like, I get it. I get you guys want to play to other smart people who know all the chess rules, but you're essentially playing for a bunch of morons who play cornhole. So,
well, and there's I don't know about lawyers, and I think I've asked this of a few lawyers before, and I don't remember if I've ever gotten a straight answer. But in OT school, it's called a therapeutic use of self. You have to find how you connect with someone and use it against them to get what you want. And like, are lawyers not taught how to talk to like normal people?
No,
it's like
not in school.
No.
It's like we are literally sat down in front of each other, in front of the class, and like, here, ask this person this, and try to elicit some answers. Have a good day. And if you either pass or you fail, have fun.
There's no training in U.S. law school, at least, on any type of interpersonal skills, EQ type stuff. We don't get any of that. The only time we get anything like that is on the job, if you have good people that you are working for and that know how to train you. But it's interesting what Mo was saying about speaking to the jury. It kind of goes back to I think it's a still continuing debate in the patent litigation realm, where you have engineers like myself, patent attorneys, typically working on cases. If a case gets to trial, which it almost never does, but it can in rare cases, at that point, do you have the patent attorney try the case, or do you bring in a professional trial attorney who knows how to speak to the jury? And that trial attorney does not necessarily have, or probably doesn't have, a technical background. I always thought it was good to bring in a trial attorney, because that trial attorney knows how to speak to another layperson.
Otherwise, you get Elaine from Johnny Depp.
Yeah. Engineers just don't know how to speak to regular people.
Well, and I think that Reddington does a really good job, but there are some things that you can't teach, but I love to go on my stream. That's why we are forever behind. And I'm like, look what he did right here. This little pause right here and this drop in register, whether we are conscious to it or not, it conveys either gravitas or sorrow, or at least acknowledgement. And that's the other problem with the female attorneys. They have a smile in their voice, no matter how crass, glib, or absolutely ridiculous, like, was she a zombie?
Yeah.
The smile is still in her voice, when all that you would need to correct for that is to simply go one to the lower end of your register if you're a female, because it does convey, like, if I go from this register where I'm really, really happy, and I go, okay, so on the night of February, but it's those little tonal changes that, like, when she's trying to move to the incident in question and she's already dragged the witness through all of these happy memories, she kind of ambushes them because she doesn't change her tonal quality. Now, a normal person with a soul would be like, oh crap, we're going to go into this really craptastic part. I should probably not sound like I'm excited. So they'll go, moving forward to the night in February, and that kind of gives that subtle nonverbal clue that we are getting ready to talk about something bad. They don't do that, and it's very jarring for the witnesses because
very
normal
jarring for everybody
humans.
watching too.
Well, I swear to God, I called them the Borg and I was like, was their human package not done downloading when they got here? Because they
Yeah.
react to human families and like the concept of having a newborn, like someone who just got downloaded onto this planet.
Well,
Yeah. And I
going
mean,
back
it started out with ripping the dad through the ringers.
That's where I
Lady,
think
it's
jury.
your witness. It's
Yeah.
your witness. Stop cross-examining him. It's your witness.
What they put the dad, I mean, the amount of sympathy that this prosecutor has managed to generate for the defendant in this case is utterly remarkable to me. Not that it's misplaced, mind you, but that's not her job, is to elicit sympathy for the defendant.
Well,
right? Am I wrong, Mo? I mean,
it's
that's
not
all
a
I've
job
seen all
to
week.
seek convictions either. It's to seek justice.
But it's also the ridiculous notion, and they started it out. We've got the ridiculous notion that a woman who only experienced, based on everything they brought in, a woman who only experienced anxiety with her other children was right at the time when she would have to go back to work, breaking that infant mother bond. That was the only time that she seemed to display any sort of heightened anxiety in all of her children. And then the Commonwealth's, after extrapolating all the disparate information of the discovery, went with, she was tired of her kids and she was trying to fake it, and she did like this Spider-Man crawl, but gravity hates all of us. And then they've spent a week and almost 2 weeks, trying to say that she faked this attempt,
and then
which would have been
saying that,
and then to deny it. I need something to make sense.
It's insane.
Massachusetts.
Hey, I'm sorry, guys. I have to drop off, but I at least
No
wanted
worries.
to try to sneak in and see Nick, since I haven't managed to do it. Nick, keep inviting me. Maybe this will be a trend. Maybe I'll be able to make it.
At least once a year. At least once a year.
Okay, guys. I'm sorry. See y'all later.
No worries.
Have a good evening and weekend.
Yeah.
See ya.
Have a good one.